got to see. Yes.
And yeah, I'm one of these people who knew nothing about basketball 26 years ago. So for everybody who has not been following it on an intimate detail, why don't you tell them about the press conference this morning and what Stern did and that kind of thing.
Well, the only, actually, I didn't hear it, believe it or not, because I was doing some other things, but my understanding is that the Maloofs asked for an extension on the extension, which would take it into May before a decision. I think the league wanted some more information about what was all involved in the transfer possibility. So, what do you make of it? I don't really know, although I think that the fact the league granted the extension means they're not completely satisfied with what's been presented. And I think from the Maloofs asking for the extension is know that they probably haven't got their ducks in a row. Exactly. I think that's pretty much how I would put it. So, I think it's probably good, probably. And all the other stuff about Mr. Burkle getting involved and all that as a multi-billionaire that would like to buy a team and keep it here or bring one in here. Obviously, I don't know what that means. I do know that billionaires have access to things that most of us don't. But, the old saying, money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys a lot of other stuff. And I know that I'm probably happier today than I was when I was growing up as a kid. We didn't even have electricity, I can tell you that. I figured out that was bullshit. Go along there, but so anything else? Yes, sir.
With obviously all the drama here in Sacramento, and I moved here in the fall from the East Coast, and I know New Orleans.
Well, we apologize you haven't lived there, but go ahead.
With franchises like Sacramento and New Orleans having different issues, I recently read an article about the likelihood of an international franchise becoming more of a likelihood. Do you really see that as a feasibility to go to China or Europe for NBA franchises in the future?
I think probably not in my lifetime. I think in yours. I think you'll see a European division, and I'll tell you why. I think it'll happen because it'll all be driven by television money. If you put a team in Madrid, Spain, and one in Frankfurt, Germany, and one in Rome, Italy, and London, those flight times aren't any different than they are in America, certainly in the West. But so you could have a division there, and each TV market being 50 to 75 million people, much bigger than New York or Los Angeles or anything else. And so I think it'll come, maybe for the wrong reasons. Now, and people say, well, geez, what about the flight times? Well, it wouldn't be that much. It would be if you're from Sacramento, but if you went back to play 3 games in the East, say Philly, New Jersey, and Boston, and then flew overseas for another 3 or 4 games, just be extended road trip, it really could be done. So yeah, I think it could happen. Like I say, it won't be anytime soon, but it'll happen. Just, I think. Good question, though. Anybody? Yes, sir.
If Sacramento loses the Kings, would realistically the NBA approve another team, even if like Burkle came in with money? Would they really, you think, give them that opportunity?
Well, that's a good question. Would they approve another team coming to Sacramento if the Kings left? Not unless there's an arena project going forward.
And that could take 5, 10 years.
Well, I would say certainly you could build it in 2 years if you got started. Here's the thing I've noticed: you can't really build one unless you actually stick a shovel in the ground at some point. I'm a little country, but I figured that out. But I think at best you're talking 3.5 years from today or 4 if some miracle everything came together. So that doesn't mean if there was a project started. And the answer is if there was a project started, I think that obviously Sacramento would be a very viable option for a franchise. Because obviously our code it's not going to fall down the next couple of years. So you've got some years in there, but they'd have to have an arena, a new arena on track to be built and financed. So that's That's really about all I know about that. Like I say, I just don't know what's going to happen. I think honestly, my feeling has always been, and you know, you could obviously know more about these things than I do, but I've always wondered why there hasn't been more of a regional commission of some type. Because here's why. I noticed in Indiana, in Annapolis, they have a huge football facility, a beautiful arena for the Pacers, you know, and that market's smaller than here. Now, how they've done it is basically it's been a county-wide deal, but all the rich suburbs are in the same county. In other words, the Roseville, Granite Bays, El Dorado Hills, Davis, all those would be in the same county. Well, it's not that way here. But at the bottom line to me is that's where a lot of the users are. You know, and there's certainly benefit to Placer County, to El Dorado County, to have a big, and not just for the Kings. I think that's the least of it. I mean that. I'll live in Roseville regardless if the Kings are here or not. I mean, this is my home. This is where I'll die. Hopefully not today. You know, I mean, you know, you don't know, right? But I would like to have access to a sports and entertainment complex for concerts and different things. You know, I mean, I think it's for a major market like this not to have one is absurd. And but I think that the whole area benefits, and the whole area ought to pay some way. That's all. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but then again, yes, sir.
Who are the Kings franchise? Who are they blaming for not having the same cities? I mean, Johnson. I mean, who's pointing the finger?
Who's pointing fingers at everybody? I think that's one of the things that I've noticed over the years. You know, if things aren't going well, you know. I mean, I learned that a long time ago. Blame somebody else, right? There's plenty of people to blame, and who is at fault? I think everybody, to some degree. You know, it's a combination of things. You know, could the Maloofs have done more? Could the city have done more? Could the county have done more? Could the outlying areas stepped up and said, what can we do to make this work? What's the best, actual cheapest location to build it that makes the most sense? Little minor things like that. I've never understood, this is just me, why the Natomas area where the current arena is the best access in the entire league. The best. Okay? You know how far it is from downtown? 3 miles. 3 miles to the airport. I mean, I don't know. Do you have trouble getting there?
Yeah.
You know? Huh?
From Highway 50 you do.
Oh, you probably do from Highway 50, but you'd have the same problem if it's the rail yard, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Worse.
No.
Worse.
Deal is the train.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think at some point, yeah, you wish you had light rail or something right there, and it's certainly not unreasonable to believe that. Last time I checked, the airport's on the same route, right? So, whatever. But so I know I try not to use common sense. You know, I said it's like the it's like the NBA. I always say, now, if it's something that makes sense, it's logical, well, dismiss it right out of hand. Has no chance, you know. And, so somebody before I forget it, Dan Lundgren used to be a neighbor of mine. I hope I wasn't the reason he left. So we're going to tell Dan, I'm sorry. I go out walking in the neighborhood a lot. In fact, I used to walk different places in Rose. I walk every day, and I'm a diabetic now, so my doctor explained it to me the way I understood. Like either start walking every day and watch what you eat, or you're going to end up dead sooner. And, well, that's not good. But anyway, Rick Altman told me once I was out walking past his house, and he came out and he said, Jerry, he said, if you don't mind, he said, I don't think you'll be walking out here. I said, what do you mean? He said, I think you're hurting our home values. Now, you didn't have to laugh at that one. Actually, though, he sold his house right away and made money. And I told him, I said, you really kind of ought to owe me something. I increased your value. So I walked past it. So anyway, hey, I appreciate it. You've been great, and I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope it. I just wish they could give it another year. You know, in my mind, another year, and I think things could all turn around. I go back to the Minnesota Timberwolves were getting ready to move about 10 years ago, or 11 years ago, to New Orleans, and just is almost done. And they found a way to make some changes or to the lease agreements or what it was. But at the end of the day, the Timberwolves stayed and obviously had some great years, not lately, but great years. And so, things can happen and work for the best. And like I say, and I think the Kings overall are a good thing for the community. Not everybody likes professional sports. Don't blame anybody for that. If you don't like it, fine. I do. I like all sports. But I think the sports and entertainment complex is a necessity, a really big time one going forward for one of the 20 largest markets in the country and a great place to live. That's only going to grow and get better. And it's all part of the plan, I think. So anyway, that's all I got for you. Thank you.